everyone. We are back with the Mentaculus.
Yep.
I'm Soren.
I'm Mark. Sunday, September 28th, 2025.
How have you been, Mark?
I've been good. It's been a nice week opening up the podcast, people listening,
Yeah.
getting rave reviews. People love the soundboard.
Yeah, people love the soundboard.
Yeah.
No one's complained about
No
the
one's
soundboard
complaining.
at all.
No one that I know of has complained. No one with a serious opinion has complained about the soundboard.
Yes,
So,
they're dumb. Guess what I did last night?
What did you
this
do?
morning?
What did you do?
I peed the bed.
Did you
I'm
actually?
literally not even joking.
Did you actually piss the
This
bed?
is the first time I've peed the bed in probably 15 years, I would imagine.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
literally not joking.
You pissed yourself.
I pissed myself. It did not hit the bed. I was on my back, and I woke up, and it was just a little bit. But I was saving this for the pod. Isn't that interesting? And I make a point not to drink a lot of water at night.
You really are the Adam friend, huh?
I'm not the Adam friend. Stop. Yeah. We cannot compare ourselves to Cumtown in the second episode of the show, man.
I'm the Nick friend. You're the Adam friend.
That's not true. I'm the Nick friend.
You're the what?
No. Do not even think about it.
Okay. All right. Let's move on. Let's talk about
this weekend.
Yes.
Besides myself being in bed, One Battle After Another came out.
Yep.
The new Paul Thomas Anderson movie.
Yep.
And that is going to be Paul Thomas Anderson in general is going to be the focus.
And if you want to skip the plot, you want to skip all that plot and stuff and get to the good part where we talk about, that messy part where we talk about One Battle After Another. Producer Ali's gonna throw in the timestamp, but first we're gonna go over we had a PTA retrospective.
Yeah, we watched all his films, so if you don't want to hear us talk about that, except for Hard 8. If you don't want to hear us talk about, if you want to just hear the biting One Battle After Another commentary, then skip ahead to this timestamp.
Before we get into PTA's filmography, a quick disclaimer for There Will Be Blood, Phantom Thread, Licorice Pizza, and One Battle After Another spoilers ahead. Use the timestamps in the description to avoid spoilers as you see fit. If you want to jump straight to One Battle After Another, skip ahead to 57:22. Enjoy the episode.
Okay, so that will be it.
All right. So Paul Thomas Anderson. Mark, why don't you describe your relation to Paul Thomas Anderson's work? Previous to One Battle After Another, maybe even previous to this retrospective.
Previous to the retrospective? Okay. I had seen the majority of his movies. I had seen everything except Hard 8, Licorice Pizza, and Magnolia. And then my experience with Phantom Thread and Inherent Vice was very limited because I was kind of, not really paying attention the days I watched those. So, but, so we went back and at that point, my two favorites were probably There Will Be Blood and Boogie Nights are the most enjoyable for me, but after the retrospective, that changed. So
yeah, for myself, Paul Thomas Anderson was my first favorite director pretty much since really getting into film 6 or 7 years ago. And Magnolia was my favorite movie for 3 years probably. I was a big PTA stan. There was one time where in first year in the dining hall, I was talking about Fiona Apple with a girl that I had not known or met before, and then I said, well, I'm also a really big fan of her ex-boyfriend Paul Thomas Anderson, and she did not seem to appreciate that at all. That was me being a narcissist, I think, a little bit.
Okay.
Anyways, but so big fan of PTA for a very long time, and then I took with Adam Naiman, I took a course on PTA and the Coens, and I feel like I became a lot more measured and less fanboyish about the films, and
yep.
Became a lot more skeptical and critical.
Instead, you became fanboyish about Adam Naiman. You just switched your fanboyishness to somebody else.
Directed towards Adam. This is the second time we've. Anyways, but needless to say, still a very big fan, and many of the films are very, very, very dear to me. Very special movies. So
it's beautiful. Okay.
Yeah, but so this past month in preparation, because our roommate had not seen any of the Paul Thomas Anderson films. Shout out Dylan. Well, we'll get him on the pod. Yeah. we rewatched all of them except for Hard 8 because Hard 8 is not super, it's whatever. It's the worst one by far. By far. Ali's giving me a weird look. You disagree?
Ali, I don't know if it picked up. Ali said he saw it for the first time this week and he seemed to have liked it kind of.
It's fine. It's a nice movie. But if you think that Hard 8 is not the worst PTA movie, I instantly throw your ranking out the window immediately. Unless you've got a strong, if you're that disturbed by Licorice Pizza, which I will concede. Obviously, that is fair. But Hard 8 is,
Well, we will get to all those movies because we're going to go through each and every one starting with Magnolia. So,
no, we're not. Why would we start with Magnolia?
Sorry, not Magnolia. Boogie Nights.
Boogie Nights. Okay, Boogie Nights.
You don't have to cut that out. That's just regular, okay.
Banter. Okay.
He's listing clips. That's good.
Nice.
We're going to be Tic Tac famous.
Boogie Nights.
Okay, Boogie Nights.
When did you see this film for the first time, Mark?
First time I saw it, this was my first PTA, I think. I saw it in my living room in Boston a long time ago. But I've seen it at TIFF, the Lightbox, and on film. I've seen it probably 4 times at this point. It's a good movie. It's especially your first time seeing it. It's it's very Marty. It's it's rise and fall, good needle drops, a lot of charisma on screen, a lot of fun, a lot of fucking fucked up people. It's cool. It's a good movie. It's great. I love Mark Wahlberg in it. I love everyone in it. I love what's her name, Julianne Moore. Yeah, Burt Reynolds.
Ugh.
Fun film fact here. Not Dirk Diggler. Jack Horner is Burt Reynolds' character in the book. He's in the movie. He's a porn film director. Actually, he shares the name of the antagonist in the new Puss in Boots movie. Jack Horner. That's also the name, which is weird. So.
That is kind of an odd coincidence.
Yeah, someone had to have known.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boogie Nights. I've said for a very long time that it's just in terms of narrative and it is just so entertaining.
Yeah.
It's such a delight, and it's it does get dark and whatever and upsetting, but it is such a nice and just fun, entertaining movie.
It's the thing is, it's for all the the sex and the nudity and the violence and all of that's in it, it's still one of his most accessible movies. It's
Certainly.
Just fun. If you're a grown up about that kind of stuff, it's a fun movie. Maybe the best scene in the whole movie, you might disagree, is when he's shooting his first scene with Julianne Moore.
It's a great
There's
sequence.
a lot of that's a set piece right there.
And it's not very erotic at all.
Really?
I don't
That
find
scene?
that scene is certainly the most erotic.
Yeah,
'Cause
you're
it's
saying
the
the movie in
longest.
general.
Yeah,
I agree with
it's
you.
about porn, but it's
more violent
it's not
than
like
it
a
is
horny
erotic.
movie. It's
No,
just
it's not.
it's like an it's like spectacle. You
Yes,
know?
yes.
I think it's really interesting as I don't think that this was intended, but coincidentally, Paul PTA for his first couple films is really, really, really show offy, and there's a very obvious parallel with boasting about the size of one's member.
Yeah.
Which is a large part of
A nice large part. Good.
Yes, of Boogie Nights. Thank you. It just does sort of fit with what Paul was doing at that time.
Yeah, and
also, such a good ending.
I don't want to harp on the movie too much, but I will say the blurb about it is Soren hasn't seen Goodfellas, which is hilarious.
I have not seen
But
Goodfellas.
I would say it's like Goodfellas, but it's about pornography.
Yeah.
Which is cool. It's great. And Molina has an awesome performance in it. I love that scene so much. And that look in Mark Wahlberg's eyes, we've all had it, when you've got an exam coming up and you're hanging out with the wrong crowd. It's
Yeah. Mark and I both found, though, upon this rewatch that we liked it less.
Yes, I liked it less.
I liked it less.
It is not in the top tier. I like the movie. I'll say I liked it, but it is not in the top tier.
I have it second to last, actually.
I might have it second to last as well.
I don't know. It's just not as mature. It really is not. and it's a really show-offy, and I don't find it to be nearly as deep or complex as
Yeah.
his later films.
It's not a very deep. It's not as deep of a character study as his other films are, for sure.
Yeah, no, not at all. And that's to be expected with like kind of an ensemble film.
Yes.
But it's something that I think Magnolia does way better.
Okay,
than
and then
Boogie
we are
Nights.
now going to talk about Magnolia.
Segue.
My first time seeing Magnolia.
Yes, and as I had said, Magnolia was my favorite film for a very long time. It was it's very, very, very meaningful to me.
I'll say, since I got into, like, when I first got into watching movies a ton and, doing this waste of time, it used to be like pretty much a pretty common occurrence where I'd sit down and I'd watch a movie and I'd be like transfixed and floored. And it hasn't happened in a while because, you get less sensitive to stuff. But this was the first time in a while where I really felt that way about a movie. I was genuinely stunned, moved, and the movie is just like, it's just always moving. And it's just like, my mouth, again, I said this last week, my mouth was wide open the entire time. So.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Beast mode.
Yeah, it's a movie that I think really it does hit a different level, like taps into something pretty, universal or sublime or whatever. And I really, really like it as just PTA, as a young guy being like, I'm going to make the movie they're never going to let me make ever again.
Yeah.
And I'm going to show off, and I'm going to be so vulnerable and make a movie that's mainly about, or not mainly, but in large part inspired about my dad. And
it's a nonstop crescendo. It's like it's a constant
it's only
rise.
Escalation. Yeah.
And it's like the camera doesn't stop moving. It's just, oh boy.
One Battle is a little similar in this regard.
Yes, I was going to say I think it's his most, like, I don't know the word, like, kinetic movie.
Yeah.
Since Magnolia.
Oh, certainly.
Yeah.
Certainly. Yeah. It's hard to I don't want to spoil Magnolia.
Because Magnolia is just people talking the entire time, really.
Yeah.
But it's still like a super, super, like, energetic movie.
Yeah, the camera does not stay still at all. He's everything pushes in and pulls out, and there's a lot going on. A lot of stuff going on in the writing and filmmaking process. And by stuff I mean the usage of
we know.
Yeah. But yeah, love Magnolia very much. It's really one of those movies that like you're either gonna love or you're not gonna buy into it at all. Because there's a couple things that happen near the end that are like, kind of break the rules of diegetic storytelling.
Yeah.
And just like narrative in general, and just like physics.
Yeah.
And
who really
some people,
cares?
if you're not locked in with that sort of thing, you're not gonna like it.
If you like Tom Cruise, you're gonna love this movie because it's just Tom Cruise not even acting; he's just being Tom Cruise.
It's awesome. He has a monologue in it that's so good.
Yeah.
Magnolia is great.
All right.
I love it.
Magnolia's I'll say it for now, it's on the upper tier for me.
Yeah.
For sure.
We'll once we're done talking about it, we can go through our rankings.
Okay, what's next?
Films.
Punch Drunk Love?
Punch Drunk Love. This was my first Paul Thomas Anderson film.
And as you can see, I want to say you're starting to see a pattern with PTA's filmmaking kind of start to form where he'll make in my view, a big serious movie, and then he'll it's not like the next movie's unserious, but it's a little bit more low key, lower stakes, less of a risk, which I like, and it's also something that Thomas Pynchon does. So, and you'll hear more about that later on.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting because for those of you who don't know, Magnolia is this 3-hour and 9-minute long epic with all these characters. It's this very big movie, and then in the press conferences for Magnolia, I forget where, he joked and he was like, I'm gonna make my next movie is gonna be a 90-minute film starring Adam Sandler. That's exactly what Punch Drunk Love is. And so in a way, it is kind of like a display of range to a little bit, and it certainly is his most like form forward film. It's very textured and like, man, what's the word? Sensory. And he really uses the music specifically, but also the cinematography and everything to convey the themes. It's one of my favorite examples, and it's a very easy and obvious one, of the form informing the content.
Yeah. Also, as someone, I grew up on Adam Sandler. I loved him since I was a little kid. All his movies, freaking you name it, dude. Click, Billy Madison, The Waterboy, Mr. Deeds, every single one. Anger Management. I loved all of those movies. Any movie that was on Netflix that had Adam Sandler when I was a kid was the bomb. So, and it was nice to see. I really, like, people say this a lot, but I really think this movie tapped into all of those Adam Sandler characters, kind of the stupid idiot, but it really tapped into, like, the softness and the sweetness that he has. And he just, like Adam Sandler, he's just this, like, New Hampshire kid. He has this, like, kindness in his eyes and this everyman attitude. He's a relatable guy. I think people like Adam Sandler.
So a lot of people like to point towards Punch Drunk Love and Uncut Gems and Hustle.
Yeah.
And they're like, guys, look, Adam Sandler is actually a pretty good actor.
Yeah.
Do you think that? So you think that Punch Drunk Love really isn't that far off from a typical Sandler performance?
I think comedy,
not in terms of skill or like,
I think comedy actors are not always, but they are really good at drama. Like they're better at moving to drama than drama actors are at moving to comedy. And I do think he was like the same kind of guy in that movie. I don't think it was like a ridiculously it wasn't like a Uncut Gems, like, transformation type thing. It wasn't like that. It was more of like, this like sweet kind of affable idiot. Except, obviously it's a more serious movie and it's a lot more emotionally layered. But it's really good. And
it's pretty much just like very perfect and neat.
It's a great movie.
This watch, I've really, throughout this rewatching that we've been doing, I've really been trying to focus in on the characters as potential self-inserts, like what about them are personal and that sort of thing. And Punch Drunk Love was the one I'm kind of the most skeptical about.
Mm-hmm.
It's made in the aftermath of his horrible relationship with Fiona Apple, and he, I do think it's a pretty vulnerable film, and he presents himself as like, if Sandler's meant to be a self-insert, or Sandler's character Barry Egan is meant to be a self-insert, which I definitely think there's an argument for, given that Paul has like 1 billion siblings in real life, and so it's, regardless, I could see how someone could be put off by how subjective this film is. It really is one side of the story of an abusive relationship, in which, don't you think,
with his sisters?
No, with Fiona Apple. Like he's kind of saying like, I don't think he's saying anything per se, but he's like, Barry Egan is a guy who gets angry and beats stuff up and punches things and whatnot, and that was something that Fiona Apple had said about Paul, that he was violent and that he threw stuff. And
okay, so I'm not super familiar with their relationship at all, or like his early young, like his like 20s or anything like that. But the reason I didn't necessarily see it as a self-insert, but I guess I could be wrong, is that I thought like here's this guy who's his business is kind of lame. He's not really, I feel like PTA's self-inserts tend to be these like larger, very isolated, like driven characters. But I guess also, he's a pretty isolated guy,
Yeah.
but he's driven by his need to collect coupons for travel points.
Yes. Yeah.
I know, it's good to think about this, but like the self-insert thing, but I don't think it's super worthwhile to like look for every trait and then see if it matches PTA.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, no. But I still think that the idea that this is a very, it's a one-man show. It's one perspective.
Right.
And I could see how someone could be,
but don't
distrusting of it with the context.
Don't forget, this is a very nice movie.
Oh yeah, no, it's lovely.
It's a great love story.
It's a musical.
The music is awesome. It's a musical in like the loose sense.
It's
like,
my favorite movie to explain to use as an example to explain what anamorphic is.
Yeah. Okay.
It looks great.
Yeah, it looks great. Philip Seymour Hoffman's in it for a bit. He's hilarious.
Pull that up, Jamie. They want to make army tanks all electric.
Shut up! Yeah, that's from
the movie.
Yeah.
This is why Soren doesn't normally touch the soundboard.
Okay.
But yeah, great movie. That's definitely, relative to PTA in my mid to top tier, something like that. We haven't, we're going to whittle it down later. But moving on to There Will Be Blood.
There Will Be Blood.
This marked kind of a, would you agree, kind of a transition?
Yeah, in terms of form, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people did not really see this one coming very much, which is interesting. But that's not to say it doesn't feel like a PTA film, or that it doesn't feel like his last few films.
Yeah.
It's still very much him. Yeah, There Will Be Blood. What do you?
I love that movie.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Before we started this thing, it was my favorite PTA, and that, it's still on the top tier for me. Obviously, Daniel Day-Lewis has an insane performance. It's great. You go. I want to hear what you have to say.
On first watch, I did not like, relative to the other PTA movies, I just didn't like it as much. But every succeeding watch has been very, very, very rewarding. With this one, this last rewatch has been the time I've liked it the most.
He's so depraved. It's such a depraved movie.
It's so depraved, but I do think that this characterization of Daniel Plainview as like only a psychopath and nothing else is wrong and hurts the film.
I agree that it's wrong because there's
It
like
makes
really
the film
clear
worse.
evidence that it's wrong, but like I want to say like the with the explosion when his son went when the explosion happened.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, when the explosion happened. Yeah, so we're about to spoil the movie, but yeah, when the explosion happens and HW goes deaf in that scene, when Plainview is like crouched over, looking at the fire with oil all over his face. Like obviously it's almost as if he's become the devil. He has this like freaky face. It's absolutely scary. Like
yeah, that shot is
and
horrifying.
I want to point out. I didn't steal this from Yorm, from Sinsu, but she did say this on Letterboxd. That this is a horror movie, and there's a lot, the score, and yeah, there's a lot to it that has some horror elements.
The
so I do
first
like
shot.
that observation. Yeah, the first shot with that music.
There's these strings that like rise, and it's very upsetting. It's really freaky.
Well, let's the silent movie part of it, the beginning, just really good. Just I don't know. There's something like it's like he's trying. It's a very like it's an encompassing film about America, like the birth of American capitalism. I think it's saying something larger. It's not. Yeah. It's not just about Plainview.
It's very large in scope.
Yeah.
Still, though, I think that what it on this last rewatch, I found it to be more interesting as like a thing about family and fatherhood and responsibilities and that kind of thing. The relationship that Plainview has with his son, HW, I don't know. To me, that's a very important part of the film because it's what keeps Plainview from being just an actual psychopath, like one note character. It adds a level of complexity that I feel like is very important.
Because the point that he reaches in his mansion, lonely, signing those checks, drinking his life away, and just the physicality of the way that like Daniel Day-Lewis performs that, like just he's like hunched over, and like every movement he's making looks like an insane struggle. It's just
and
grim.
And also, there's this amazing shot where it's a little montage of H.W. Plainview and his to-be wife playing around, and then she jumps off this deck, and then it's just a cut immediately to her wedding.
Yeah.
And that ellipses,
so dramatic.
It's so dramatic, and I feel like it also contributes much to it being about family and fatherhood and that sort of thing, because it's just like, kids are young, and then with one cut there.
I mean, and he's very clearly heartbroken about his brother.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, when he finds out his brother is dead and he was lied to the whole entire time by this dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a great movie. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't think you'd see Daniel Plainview crying.
Yeah.
You know? But he cried.
Yeah, he does.
He cried like a dog.
Also, pretty interesting movie in regards to sex, I'd say.
Yes, in the original script, it was said that Daniel Plainview mentions that he is, what do they say, impotent.
Yeah.
And when he's in the with his brother, when he's with his lying brother at the brothel, he's just like sitting down, kind of pissed off, while his brother's annoying, obviously, and drunk and really abrasive and annoying, and asking him for money so he can pay for
sex. Anyways, no. But yeah, it's an interesting. I feel like it being written into the script that he's impotent is interesting, but I don't know how much, because it's cut.
It's cut, but I think it's cut because he doesn't want it to be so obvious. Yeah.
Many people think this is like a pretty gay movie because of the correspondence. I mean, there's literally no sex in the movie, and Plainview not once is interested in women. There's barely any women in this movie.
There's like one woman. Like, there are a lot of people in the movie.
There are a lot of people who think that. I mean, and the movie is filled with phallic imagery.
The movie is filled with phallic imagery.
I mean, the derrick itself is.
Yes.
And when I had watched it on this last rewatch, there's the really famous scene where he's like, I abandoned my boy, is he and Paul Dano are playing off each other, and they're really performing together. There's a moment in that sequence where you can see it in Plainview's. He's like really hesitant to admit his sins and whatever.
And then he just lets go.
He lets go, and he like, it clicks, and then they're playing off each other, and they're performing together.
And he's like smiling and laughing.
It seems like he's into it, the way he's lying and stuff.
I think the way I see it is, in that moment he's totally accepted the absurdity of what he's doing, and just the, like, when he says at the end of that scene, he was like, now give me my land, or some shit like that. I forget what he says now, but he says, now let me have my lease, because the whole reason he did it was for lease on the land. And like, so he's accepted the absurdity of the obvious exchange that's happening. And like, I think from the start, he obviously picks on, what's Paul Sunday? Eli? Which one's this one? Paul?
Eli is the priest.
Yeah, he's picking on Eli. He was like, that's a good show you put on. Like, he said that before. Yeah. So I think, he's like, he's really disgusted by the whole thing.
Yeah, it's, and then when they do it later, at the very end of the film, when he's coercing Eli into admitting that he's a false prophet.
Yeah.
They're doing it again, and it feels like an old time thing. And you see the opposite thing happen, where Eli Sunday, it kind of clicks for him. He's hesitant to admit that he's a false prophet.
And then you could say the
I'm finished
at the end, because like
He beats
when
him with a bowling pin.
yes,
That
and
looks like a penis.
when he's violent, like when he acts in violent ways, it's his only like physical like kind of rise up to a climax and then catharsis type thing.
Yeah.
He doesn't really do that otherwise. Like when he beats the shit out of him in the mud, he like humiliates him and he starts slapping mud all. There is like kind of both ways, like a kind of a humiliation thing, a debasing thing that they like to do to each other. Like
yeah.
in the church scene, he's like holding his hair up and he's like slapping him in the face. And then obviously the way he rubs them, is that mud or oil on his face?
I don't know.
But that was great fucking movie.
It's so good. It's so good. It's one that's kind of undeniable.
Some people think they're too smart for it or too good for it. It's like, shut the fuck up, man.
I had for a long time had put it at the bottom of my PTA ranking after Hard 8, of course, because it felt like the first film of PTA's like I'm mature now phase. People kind of split his career into halves, or his filmography into halves, and my read was that he wasn't as good at being a mature filmmaker now with There Will Be Blood.
Yeah.
But no, it's really good and it's awesome and it's way
and
better than Boogie
I'll
Nights.
say what was I gonna say? What was I gonna say? Oh yes, I wanted to say my boss, my supervisor in my lab, he thinks it's the greatest movie of all time. So
it's a movie to show your dad.
Yeah, depends if your dad's like,
if your dad is chill.
Well, no, maybe your dad just likes superhero movies and John Wick.
That would
stuff with action stuff. That's fine. Sometimes people, they're tired from work. If you're tired from work and your job, it's okay. We don't judge you if you want to sit back and watch the new Entanglables or whatever Thunderbolts shit. Bullshit they put on.
Okay, next, The Master.
The Master.
My favorite Paul Thomas Anderson
I didn't get
movie.
to rewatch that with you guys, but that is a Massachusetts movie.
Yeah, Lynn, Massachusetts.
Lynn, Massachusetts. Interesting.
Which is where Paul Thomas Anderson's dad is from, I believe. Yeah.
Hey, look at that.
Ernie Anderson.
People say, sorry, this is one of the Pynchons I haven't read, but people say that it was pretty inspired by V, which is Pynchon's debut.
Yes.
So, pretty cool.
It's this is my favorite Paul Thomas Anderson film. To me, it's just the richest text, and it's so original and like, I don't know. This time around, I kind of view it as like a really, really, really beautiful love letter to a dear friend of his, Philip Seymour Hoffman. Maybe not so much in the content, whether or not you choose to read Freddie as a self-insert for Paul is one thing, or Paul as Lancaster Dodd. This is, we should say, this is a film about post-war. There's this idea that after wars, it's a great breeding ground for religious movements, and this is like Philip Seymour Hoffman plays a cult leader who is pretty similar to, he's basically just Orson Welles, but the cult is somewhat based on Scientology, and yeah, I don't know. It's the Philip Seymour Hoffman as Lancaster Dodd is like, it was a role that was written specifically for him, and that alone to me is enough of a beautiful tribute to a man's immense acting ability, and I don't know. I just find it really moving on like an interpersonal level.
That's good. That's a good way to understand it. Like after the fact. But I also think, not to be, that way. But I also think if he was still alive, you wouldn't think of it as that much in that way. But that's okay. You don't think so?
No, because I don't think he knew that he was gonna die. I think he made it for him.
But
he
I
made
think
the role for him.
Yeah, I understand.
Regardless.
But up until that point, like, it didn't seem like he's had played like a major role in any of his movies. He'd been in all of them. Right?
Yeah, which is why this one is for him.
No, I know it's for him, but I guess I do want to hear a little more about like the extra textual themes of it, like the Scientology.
Sure.
What you think about that stuff too? Also, we just saw a trailer for Chad Powers.
Yeah, that looks like it's gonna be a really awesome movie and not adored by racists.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's it's a movie that really feels very original. I think, though it's obviously inspired, very inspired. It's just so complete, and it feels like a really lived-in characters in I guess a similar world, but it's just there's something so haunting about it, and it's a movie that every single time you come back with a new little read on it, a new interpretation, that sort of thing. Some people think it's a ghost story. Some people think it's just a love story. Friendship.
Another example, Joaquin Phoenix's physicality in the role.
Oh, he's so good.
His awkward, skinny, crooked look. And again, every movement he makes looks impossible and forced and uncomfortable. And it's like, dude, it looks so difficult to be in his skin.
It's a very big performance, and
Yes.
some people think it's awful. And I think if you're someone like that, you have no hope and no joy.
Yeah.
And
We don't like alternative opinions on this
that's
podcast.
not true. That's not true. We have alternative opinions. But
Shut up!
okay.
Shut up!
I don't even respect you enough to do that with my hand.
Yeah, he just did it with his foot. It's a great movie. I love it to death. It's very beautiful. It's probably in my top 10 ever. I love it so much. The music, it's shot so well. It's just beautiful. And it's his most difficult film, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely not easily
at least
accessible.
in terms of structure and narrative and that sort of thing.
Yes.
Inherent Vice may be more difficult to follow.
Yes, but it's not a popcorn flick, let's say that.
Yeah.
It's no Boogie Nights.
Yeah, exactly. Should we go to Inherent Vice now?
Yes.
Inherent Vice.
This is one of his, again, less serious and big works, and it's also funny because Inherent Vice is one of Pynchon's minor books, short ones.
Accessible.
Yes, they say it's his most accessible book, and again, it's one of the ones I have not read, but we ordered it, so I'll be reading it soon.
Yes.
But I loved this one so much. We had so much fun watching it.
I had a great time on rewatch. I had not seen it for a few years, and I had only seen it once.
Apparently, it's a really faithful adaptation. Oh, we see the one battle after another ad.
Oh, nice.
Coming on the TV with Sean Penn. Apparently it's a really faithful adaptation of the novel, and I don't know what people who read it think, or people who don't read it. It's one of Pynchon's less acclaimed movies, but I found it to be very Pynchonian and funny in a lot of ways.
It's so fun.
There's a lot of funny performances. There's a lot of funny shit happening in the background. There's a lot of funny stuff that is not in focus, and it not being in focus makes it funny. When he's in the banana and you just see Phoenix just turn to Josh Brolin making the face.
It's so good.
And they just do the banana lick for a minute and a half too.
It's yeah.
It's very Pynchon. There's it's so many small, good, interesting characters. So many funny moments. It's really nice.
I love it so much.
And it's really good at capturing the period, I think.
PTA, in just about any interview you'll hear about or read about Inherent Vice, he says that it's about having a lady friend who might be the one that got away.
Yep.
Or one where it's like a situationship type of thing. You don't really know what the definition of your relationship is.
Yep.
And it's about searching for this person and
there's
that kind of thing.
Always a search in Pynchon, and it always seems like the protagonist is also really good at women seem to really like him. Even though he doesn't seem to understand it sometimes. Wherever he goes, there's always some...
Pynchon or PTA?
Pynchon's protagonist. Like Joaquin Phoenix in the movie, like wherever he goes, there's always some like comically sexual thing going on, and he just seems to be, I think, way too stoned to understand what's happening or to register it. Martin Short,
Oh
Martin
my gosh.
Short was so good in
There are
it.
plenty of amazing one-off cameos.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yes.
And
the music, the needle drops were incredible.
it's a film where I have a hard time understanding how someone could get very upset by it because it's very deliberately confusing and tries to throw you off its tail a little bit. But everything else about it is so lovely and funny and like it's just a movie that you're along for the ride for, and I don't know.
Again, you'll see this in one battle after another, but just like the breakdown of like direct cause and effect, that's kind of the point. And it's enjoyable. Like the characters, like he's the protagonist, he's trying to do something. He's trying to figure something out. He's searching for something. And then he doesn't really accomplish anything meaningful.
No.
Not at all.
And it's awesome.
Yeah, Josh Brolin is hilarious.
He's so good in it.
But what I really go for here is the respect.
Okay,
Yes.
let's move on.
Phantom Thread. This is one that a lot of people love.
Yeah.
I love it a lot too. Johnny Greenwood, the composer, who regrettably has been working with PTA since There Will Be Blood.
He's a good composer.
He popped off very hard with Phantom Thread. It's an amazing score. When I was in high school, I figured out how to play music over the loudspeaker in the cafeteria, and I literally would just put on the Phantom Thread soundtrack every single day at lunch and just force people to listen to it.
I probably would have killed you in high school. Like this with
yeah, it's delightful. Another self-insert. I'm sorry.
No, you're not sorry at all. I'm
not sorry at all. It's true.
another occurrence. I pointed this out to Soren. He didn't notice it. I pointed it out. Almost every but many PTA movies contain tripods.
I've noticed that, man.
I told you about it last year. I told you about like a year and a half ago.
You think I didn't notice that shot in There Will Be Blood, man?
No, but you didn't notice that it was in like a bunch of his movies.
I just didn't put it. I just don't see it's as much of a pattern as it.
It is a pattern because There Will Be Blood is not a movie about. They didn't even have freaking film cameras back then. They put obviously the tripods there, as to make it, because when in PTA movies, when something is being constructed, when something is being made, it's almost always also a self-insert about the process of filmmaking. Soren, I would heavily prefer it if you refrain from using your phone.
We're watching the game, man.
What? What the fuck are you on about, dude?
Okay.
Hold on. Yeah. Okay. So you see it in There Will Be, and you see it here when he's like whatever. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. What I really like about this movie, among many things, obviously, the performance, how beautiful it is, how
I maybe think he's better in this than There Will Be Blood.
I do not think so. I don't know, but no, I don't think so. But I do think he is excellent in this.
Yes,
and I think he is really good at like the movie constantly like picks on him, and I find it very funny. He's like whiny, he's spoiled, he's like sensitive to everything. He's obviously autistic. He doesn't like hearing the compote spread on the toast in the morning, stuff like that. But what I really appreciate about the movie is that, because I find with romance films, I think this is like pretty well agreed upon, like that they end, once the two get together. They don't, you never want to see what continues to happen, because first of all, it's boring, and second of all, it's almost never perfect, because that's how, love is. That's how it goes. But this was a movie where it ended and it projected a stable, believable love that could last, because you understand what they have to do to stay in love. She just has to keep
spoilers.
Spoilers. She just has to keep on poisoning him and beating him down, and then helping him up again. And because he's addicted to that, because he has mommy issues, and she is some sort of attention-seeking narcissist or something. And it's a perfect like feedback loop that they have.
Yeah,
and it's really
they're the only ones for each other.
It's beautifully romantic in that way. It's really nice to see him broken down, and just to see like because it's a little bit like, it's a little bit depraved. It's like, because like the normal way to react when you find out someone is poisoning you is to be angry and disgusted, but once he catches her putting in the mushrooms, he's completely happy about it, which I find beautiful. And Vicky Krieps has a really good performance in the sense that she's always making this like face where she's like either embarrassed or disgusted or nervous, and like you just feel that discontent.
She's great in it.
She's great.
She goes head to head with DDL and not
which is not easy.
By him.
Which will, just to go back for a second, we'll say Paul Dano kind of got cucked a little bit.
He's really good in it.
I think he's really good, but it's not. I don't know.
I don't think that's a foil either.
Okay, well, most people would probably disagree.
No, I don't think so. I think most people liked it.
That's not it.
Pull that up, Jamie. They want to make army tanks.
Are you
all electric.
employed, sir?
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, Phantom Thread, delight. I mean, it's great.
Yeah.
It's I love it very much. My mom loves it. I
love when she surprises him with that dinner, and then he's like, have you been sent here to ruin my evening or something? He's like,
are you a secret agent?
Do you have a gun? Do you have a gun?
But it's funny, but it's also so racist.
Is it?
Yeah, because she's
Irish?
She's fled from the war.
From Germany?
Yes. She's Jewish.
Oh, she's Jewish.
Yes, that's the whole point.
Oh, I thought she was German.
No, she's from Luxembourg.
What? That was never mentioned once.
No, that's the implication of all that.
I thought she was like a village girl or something. Oh, she's a refugee.
That is the implication, yes.
Oh, that changes things a little bit.
Yeah, it makes it less funny. But the secret agent line is hilarious.
Yes.
But
jeez, I wish
that
you
is
told me
the,
that. I enjoyed the line. I thought it was funny.
When she's like, when they're like, yeah, they're questioning.
Well, that also
where
has
she
to do
came
why
from
she's
and-
like so like repulsed by this like high society bullshit.
Yeah. Anyways, Licorice Pizza.
The dresses were beautiful.
Dresses are beautiful.
Yeah.
The music's beautiful. It's it's shot gorgeously. Licorice Pizza.
You go first. You do your whole circle jerk about it.
Okay. I love Licorice Pizza so much. Mark and I are sitting behind. Licorice Pizza actually was the original.
No, that wasn't the original title.
No. What I was going to say is that the original title for the pod, our pod,
Oh, yep.
was going to be Licorice Pizza Gate.
Yeah.
And then we were silenced.
And it's funny, I came up with that one and I realized I had created a beast because Soren went to war for it.
I don't think you did. Let's look at the texts right now and see who came up with Licorice Pizza Gate, because I came up with it.
Didn't I ask you not to use your phone?
No, I'm using my phone to prove you wrong, which I think is justified.
The Patriots are absolutely smoking the Panthers right now.
It's my idea. I was the one who came up with it.
Okay. Whatever.
Loser. Liar. Scoundrel.
But what I really go for here is the respect.
Sorry.
That's right.
Okay. Licorice Pizza. I love this movie very much. I think it's awesome. I think it's my third favorite PTA, which is not something that a lot of people agree with. It's such a nice, personal little hangout movie. It feels so lived in, shot around PTA's neighborhood and everything like that, and all the places in which he grew up after when it takes place. But anyways, a lot of people think that this is a movie that a lot of people don't like this movie because of the age gap, 15 and 25/28. And a lot of people try and cope with it, and they're like, "This is not PTA is not endorsing this. You're supposed to find it gross."
Mm-hmm.
I think those people are coping very hard. I think it's a very romantic movie.
Yeah.
And it's intended to be.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that last part, that it's intent. What I'll say about the movie is, like, overall, there's a lot of, like, it's a movie that, you know, there's a lot of funny, enjoyable stuff that goes on in it. There's a lot of funny, nice performances. Tom Waits is so awesome in it.
Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper is hilarious. I couldn't hold back. I really enjoyed in the driving sequence where Alana Haim was driving the truck. I thought was so cool. Especially with the whole gas crisis thing. It was a nice movie. I'll say that. But
your least favorite?
My least favorite, and again, I liked Cooper Hoffman's performance a lot. I thought he had a lot of charisma, and I liked Alana Haim's performance too. And the whole like thing with her sisters, they're just like a funny, you know, crew. But the age gap thing, I can make the conscious decision to ignore my issues with it. I can do that, and that's what I did when I was watching it, because like whatever, I can believe she got charmed by Cooper Hoffman's character, and then it went from there. But my problem is that every time Alana Haim's character went to someone else and then went back to him, it wasn't because she was having success with, you know, the new man that she found or that she was talking to. It was because it failed because of some extraneous circumstance, and then she went back. So it felt like I felt unconvinced by her actual affection for Cooper, whereas I felt very much convinced by his attachment to her, which, you know, might also it might be partially because of the age gap. But like for example, like okay, the fact that she brings home a second 15-year-old is worrying to me. Like that's weird. I think that was what kind of fucked me up. She brought home a second 15-year-old.
I don't think he's meant to be 15. I think he's older.
Okay, well I did ask you and you said he was young. But if he's not, whatever.
I think he's like 17, but still.
Okay,
obviously.
whatever. Yeah, all right, fine. Let's say he's older.
Whatever.
And then with the mayor, not only the guy who brought her to the mayor's office, she was about to kiss him, and then she got a phone call from the mayor. She goes to the mayor. The date fails because the mayor is a deeply closeted gay man. So, and then she goes running back to poor old Cooper, who's obviously, you know, partially doing a lot better than her in life. And yeah, I mean, you know, Soren's obviously going to talk about that scene that people found offensive with the Japanese restaurant, whatever.
I actually was not planning on talking about that.
Okay,
scene.
we can cut that. And I'm not going to get into the politics of the movie because I don't want to. So, but yeah, overall, I liked it. I enjoyed it. I laughed. I had a nice time. And that's the curse of being Paul Thomas Anderson, is you can make a movie like that and it will end up being on the bottom of someone's list.
And I think it's at the top. I love it very much. It's I don't know. Some people find it to be very sad, like a deeply sad movie, and I think that might be where your reading of Alana not being as into it, and having Gary as a like an option or a backup, might lend to that, because then they run off at the end and it's all cute and you think they're going to be happy forever together.
I'm not charmed by their love at all.
Really?
Not at all. Not in the way I was for Punch Drunk Love. Not at all. I was not charmed. I was not like, I didn't feel warm inside when so maybe that's the same. Yeah, maybe that's the same read that other people are having.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was the intention. It doesn't seem like it. It seemed like a Gen Xer like nostalgia movie, which is fine. It's cool and all, but like it was like very clearly like a little like childhood nostalgia type thing.
But it takes place well before PTA was a child.
Does it?
Like a decade
Oh yeah,
before,
it takes place in the like Nixon years. Oh, that is weird. Yeah.
Kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Something to think about.
Yeah, because he's like young Gen X. He's like our dad's age, like in his mid-50s.
It's a very personal film, obviously, and it might be a little impenetrable in the way, like without certain understandings and certain of intentions and personal nostalgias. It's probably a film that.
But let's not wait. Let's not
more for Paul than
let's
for
not scare
anyone else.
people away, because it's a very accessible, entertaining, funny movie.
But still, I do like I don't even find it to be super accessible. A lot of people think that the pacing of it is awful, because it's not a plot. It's not a very. It's a hangout movie.
Yes.
It's just Alana and Cooper Hoffman meeting weird people.
Yes.
And it's just vignettes.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people think that Licorice Pizza is meant to mean, because Licorice Pizza means vinyl record. LP
Yeah.
as an acronym, but also it looks like Licorice Pizza. And some people think with all the needle drops and with all the vignettes, each of the vignettes is meant to represent a track on a record.
Or a slice of the pizza.
Yeah. Kind of
Slice
interesting.
of the pie. Everybody gets a slice of the pie.
Yeah, but still, you know, if you're willing to not be completely disgusted by the depiction of the age gap relationship,
Yeah.
you'll probably find it to be incredibly joyous and
Right.
enjoyable.
Okay.
All right, and so
guys, Ali
rankings
hasn't
then?
spoken yet, but we are going to ask his opinion on a couple of things. There,
Yeah,
it's coming
we're
up.
also time check, Ali.
What?
Yeah,
Okay, we're
this
just
is
going to
gonna be this is an extra long episode.
Yep,
Do you have
bonus.
anywhere to be?
patron
Okay.
bonus episode.
We have to. Yeah. Oh, I need to be able to leave in 25 minutes.
Okay, yeah, let's move through.
Um,
Do I have to come to this meeting?
you should come.
Fuck. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Rankings really quick. Tier
Okay.
list.
Tier list. Top tier. I'm going to leave the master out of this, unfortunately, because I haven't seen it in a while. So I'm just going to leave the master out of this whole thing.
Yeah.
Top tier is going to have There Will Be Blood. Damn freaking. And I'm going to leave one battle after another out of this,
Yeah, me
unfortunately, too. There Will Be Blood, Magnolia, and Inherent Vice. And then the mid tier is going to have Phantom Thread, what's it called? The Punch Drunk Love,
Mm-hmm.
and fucking what's the other one? That's it. And then the bottom tier is gonna have Licorice Pizza and
Boogie Nights.
No, let's put Boogie Nights in the mid tier. Bottom tier is just gonna be Licorice Pizza.
Damn.
But I like it. I like it, but I don't
okay.
love it.
I'll go in reverse order. Bottom tier is Hard Eight by itself, and then I've got an empty tier is for Magnolia. If you're a cynic, I understand how that would be second to last place if you're a cynic. B tier, I've got Boogie Nights, Punch Drunk Love. A tier, I've got There Will Be Blood, Phantom Thread, Inherent Vice, and then Licorice Pizza.
Boogie Nights over There Will Be Blood is violent, bro. But okay, go on.
It's not. Boogie Nights is not over There Will Be Blood.
Oh.
Boogie Nights is second to last.
Oh, sorry, I spoiled it.
And then I've got Magnolia. If you're someone who believes and you're an optimist and you love life, which is second place for me. And then S tier is The Master.
Okay.
One battle after
All right.
another.
Moving on. Okay, we're gonna get our thoughts, and we'll get Ali's thoughts. Okay. Sorry. Okay. All right. We saw this in Vaughn on 70mm IMAX. So yeah, take it away, Soren.
Yeah, so we had the amazing opportunity to see this on correct IMAX. 15 perforation, 70 on a massive screen.
Oh shit! It was so big.
The
screen
big.
had scaffolding.
Yeah, literally it had scaffolding. It was so big. And one battle after another is awesome. It's so awesome.
It's a really good movie.
It's very obviously and accessibly just awesome.
It is balls to the wall.
It's excellent escalation the entire time, pretty much.
It's extremely kinetic.
So the prologue is like 40 minutes long, and it flies by. The entire movie flies by. So often people, when they're talking about a long movie, they're like, felt like 90 minutes. It's a 3-hour movie, felt like 90 minutes. Most of the time, I feel like they're exaggerating.
Yes, but this time.
This is truly...
Yes.
I had no idea
I
how
did
far
not want
into
it
the
to
film.
end. I was like,
Me
no,
neither.
this is going to end. I did not want it to end.
I didn't want it to end either. So much fun.
Let's get into the themes, because there's a
Well,
lot.
maybe basic plot synopsis.
Okay, sure.
I feel like we need to start.
Okay,
doing
I'll try it. Should I do the?
Yeah,
because
do
I'm
it.
a
Do it.
Vineland head.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, washed up revolutionary from an unclear period. A group called the French 75.
It's not unclear, man. It's modern times. They got iPhones.
No, but I know, but like this is based. The movie's based in the 2020s, right? And the girl is 17 years old.
No, man.
What?
No, the opening sequence before she's born, they've all got the newest iPhone in it. It's set in 2025.
Oh, so the next thing's based in like 2050?
Yeah, man. And then there's that one line of dialogue, which I really love. They say, spoilers, a little bit, minor spoiler, they say, 17 years have passed and not much has changed.
Okay, psych that from the record. Okay. Why don't you give away the synopsis then, since you're so fucking smart? Don't psych it from the record. We show all our flaws here.
Yes. Yeah, so leftist revolutionaries, the French, called this French 75,
Mhm.
They have a little bit of a heyday. They are doing some bad A.
Some fuck shit.
Yeah, some cool revolutionary stuff. And then the group kind of gets disbanded. Some people rat on the rest of the group. Other people just get iced.
Yep.
And by iced, I mean domed. And by domed, I mean
And then
killed.
what you end up with is a washed up pothead Leonardo DiCaprio hiding with his daughter in Northern California.
And he's
Okay.
just paranoid.
Yes, paranoid, which gets into the theme of it being an adaptation of another Pynchon novel. This one, Vineland, and Vineland is set in in 1984, the year of Reagan's reelection, and it follows a washed-up hippie revolutionary.
Yes.
So you can see again, it's doing something similar, but it's a completely different era. So, all right, what do we want to start with? What do you want to say about it?
We could just go with like technical stuff. Looks amazing.
Looks really good.
Shot, edited well.
Always moving.
Cinematography, great. The score.
Balls to the wall.
The score is regrettably excellent.
I don't know if it's I don't know the technical term too well, but I think it's like he uses like a wide lens with that road when they're going up and down the road. It makes the road seem so much closer than it is.
Yes.
And I was genuinely worried, is she gonna hop the hill? Is her car gonna hop it? But
I think that's why it's a pretty slow, like the cars are driving kind of slow.
They seemed, they had to go slow for and then
maybe an O.J. Simpson.
And then when you see the car chase is incredible, and then you see Zoid Wheeler come through the Leonardo DiCaprio with his like beat up car just zooming through. It's so cool. Turn off your goddamn alarm. Don't snooze it because it's gonna go off again.
Yeah.
Right.
Whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. It's completely awesome.
Yeah.
The action's great. Leo is excellent. He's so funny in this. All the performances are great. Teyana Taylor, she's the main focus of the prologue.
Yes, and people might say, she was only in it for like actually making things happen for the first hour or so, and then she kind of disappears. But that's in the novel too. She's sort of a symbol, honestly, throughout the whole entire movie, throughout the whole entire novel too. And I think it works well in the movie as well. She's like this kind of, like you hear from her again, but through a letter. So she's almost like this ghost that's hanging over the movie. And she's in this. She is you could argue that she is more or less one of the subjects of that search for something, even though they're not directly looking for her. She's like a presence hanging over the movie.
Yeah, very important.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Chase Infinity was great.
Really great.
Yeah, super believable, super like you were rooting for her. She was incredibly good.
It really good foiled with Leo's character because he's like this big paranoid or not even with Leo, maybe even more so with Sean Penn, who is this very over the top villain, and whereas Chase Infinity's character Willa is like
she's got this
pretty normal.
She's got this incredible
regular
composure.
Yes,
I think like
very much so.
Yeah.
Sean Penn, did we like his performance?
Yes,
I did too.
You could tell how much of a lib he is, like how much he hates these people.
Yes. Yeah, he's. I really hope RFK sees this movie.
Yeah,
I really hope RFK Jr. sees it. Sean Penn, but it's an amazing comedic performance.
Yeah.
But he's terrifying in it.
He is.
He's very scary in this
and
film.
Ali wanted us to mention the way he waddles, that Vince McMahon walks he has. It's so funny.
Yeah.
He's like
his
short
haircut.
when he shows up to knock on the door, like in his giant ass pickup truck. When he knocks on, because he did all this, because he wanted Teyana Taylor back, right?
Yeah, he gets her the flowers.
Yeah, he gets her the flowers, and then she doesn't answer the door, and he comes back to bust down the door with this heavy ass thing. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, like a battering ram.
And then he like you just see how short he is in comparison to the door. Yeah, and I will say some more Pynchon parallels. When he sees her in the beginning of the movie, she breaks into his little house in the ice facility. the way his he gets hard in the presence of danger is, I would say, definitely a Gravity's Rainbow callback. That would come from the main character of Gravity's Rainbow, who's called Rocket Man, which is also the nickname of Leo's character in the movie.
Kind of an interesting little connection I made is there's a moment in the film where a crisis actor throws a Molotov cocktail.
Yes.
And when they radio him in to do that, they say, "Send in Van Halen."
Yeah.
You know, kind of a musical. Oh gosh, AI slop on the TV.
That's not AI.
It was AI. There was a baby.
That's the Rizzler.
I know that's the Rizzler, but there is a second Rizzler appearance in the pod. Anyways, what was I saying?
That's not Megan Thee Stallion.
I didn't say Megan Thee Stallion.
I said it last week.
Oh, that's bad.
Speaking of, the racial politics in this movie are a very strong focus, and they are not at all present in the novel. So it is really cool and interesting what PTA made his own. I think he really, the more I think about this movie, the more I think it's very much like his own thing.
Yeah. I've not read much about the racial politics from the perspective of black critics.
Except for Dr. Umar.
Dr. Umar did endorse the film.
He loved the movie.
He loved the movie despite feeling he needed to walk out.
He said, quote, he almost walked out due to all the bunny hopping. And if he saw, quote, bunny, he said bunny hopping. And if he saw, are we going to cut bunny hopping out? No? What? Okay. And he says if he saw Teyana Taylor kiss another Neanderthal,
which he said Neanderthal means white person.
Yes, obviously, yes.
Okay.
Yes. But yeah, which is funny. And to say Teyana Taylor was electric. She was awesome. And she was incredibly beautiful, which was almost the entire point. There were a lot of like male gazy shots of her, so that's not me talking, that's them. Anyway, sorry, I just want to Jungle Pussy. Jungle Pussy was the name of a character in the movie, but also Jungle Pussy is a real woman. She's an artist. I saw her open for Tame Impala once. And she's incredible. So yeah.
But with the racial politics, so I've not, like I said, I don't know the perspective. I've not read much about it because there's not a lot of criticism, like, you know, long form criticism about it yet because it's
wait. So you're saying you haven't gone from, like, what do you mean? You haven't gone to perspective? You haven't been reading about it at all? The racial politics?
No, I've been reading about it, but I've not. I haven't read anything long form that's like really, really, really substantial. I've just read short pieces.
Okay.
But what I mean to say is, to me, it felt like PTA in, you know, if Leo's a self-insert, stop. If Leo is a self-insert, dude, get it together, man.
Okay.
If Leo is a self-insert who does literally nothing in the movie, he does not move the plot forward in any meaningful way. To me, that's Paul saying, "Not my place."
Partially,
like he sat his white ass down and listened.
Yeah, and I mean, and who wants to see the dad save the much more impressive daughter? The dad has clearly lost it.
Yeah,
he's done.
So many people were like, "This is a story about
he could barely save himself."
Yeah, exactly. It's a tired story about the dad seeking out the lost girl. He doesn't do anything.
Yes, and that again, this is another very Pynchon thing, is that your protagonist has spent the entire time like basically catching up to the plot.
Yes.
He's one step behind the plot. He's not even, because, you know, to cause change and to get what you want in a story, you have to be the driver of the plot, or you have to be ahead of it. He is behind it. He's
playing defense the entire time, which is what Benicio
says,
who is also excellent in the film.
Yeah, Benicio's awesome in it. Yeah, so he's always behind, and it's like, it's great. I mean, the sequence, the deciding sequence towards the end, it's just great. And when you see him, Sean Penn walking back, it was fucking insane.
Oh, and then so funny.
I will say the very end of the movie, I'm not going to spoil it. I mean, if you've heard this review, you're getting a lot spoiled already. But not review, discussion.
We're going to need another spoiler note for all of One Battle. From the very beginning, we have spoiled the film.
But I'll say the ending is like the scale and of the, I don't know how to really put it in the right words, but the irony that the ending has is, I think, incredibly Kubrick. It's like unmistakably Kubrick, because the way that Kubrick does humor is like, it's not necessarily like a verbal punchline. It's like a very ironic twist, and it's like, and it's visual too. I don't know, maybe it's more like stage type thing. But like what happens to him with his face, so like you just realize like, oh, this guy's fucked, and like it's a larger irony because it was his, white supremacy that did this to him.
Yeah.
And not to get too much into it, but yeah, that's what I think it was a pretty Kubrickian ending, which I like, because I this whole retrospective, I've been kind of noticing the Kubrick in PTA, which I like to see because I love Kubrick.
There is a moment to make a comparison that is not worthy of being made. There's a scene in Eddington. There's like 2 shots in Eddington that I won't spoil, that involve a plane.
Yeah.
This movie is if that plane moment was 2.5 hours long.
Okay, I just have a question, because you said this to me before. This was not a tweet, right? This is you.
No, a lot of people have been recognizing this, but that was I came up with that thought in the theater.
Okay, that's good. Okay.
Yeah, it's anyways, and a way better movie than Eddington, and I think they go for different things.
Yeah, I mean,
what do you think about like the cultural commentary of today?
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the politics a bit. First of all, this movie takes a while to make, obviously. Who knows when they started making it, but...
No, PTA said he began to write it, bits and pieces of it, 20 years ago.
Yeah, no.
In
1999.
of
course. But that's like but what I mean is like when the specificity
the production began.
Like when he specified the border wall, things like that. Because the shot of the border wall, to me, registered that this is a confrontational movie. Like, like... And again, it's this is within the domestic politics of the United States, because like there's a lot going on in the world. Obviously, we're not going to get into it here, but yeah, it's a confrontational movie in that sense. Like in the border wall, there were very haunting shots, I think.
Yeah, totally.
And just it's very direct, and it almost honestly, like, I know it was staged, of course, but. Honestly, it felt real. It felt like they just went into an ICE detention camp and shot it. It was that there was a lot of realism in those shots when they were walking through the camps, kids playing soccer with the foil. So it was like, yeah, this is what we're going to talk about. This is the movie.
Really upsetting, and it's not in your face at all. It's kind of a, don't you think?
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't. It's not
quick.
Like Children of Men. It's not like turning and like look at these. It's like, yeah, here we're just
still ever.
No,
but it's. There's something very sinister about the representation of, the kind of alphabet agencies and like what's going on behind the curtain within the government. It's highly militarized.
And the way those
agencies.
feds and bureaucrats talk is so on point.
It's on point, and it's pretty scary.
It is,
I find.
yeah. Just the way that like oh my god, the one guy, Tojant, whatever his name is, the one who's always interviewing the kids.
Oh yeah.
The way he talks, it's also very father-like too. Oof. There's a lot about this movie. The community and the scenes in LA with Benicio del Toro's people when they were trying to help out a boy, Zoid Wheeler. Just the way like everyone came together and they were mobilizing, and there was a lot of hope in this movie, which the hope is not present in Vineland. Vineland is a sad, hopeless story.
This is very optimistic.
This is optimistic,
especially the ending. It's
which you might not,
optimistic.
you might not think you might not agree with the optimism, but it's there.
That I think is probably the root of a lot of people are having a hard time with this film because of, it's a film that's about revolution, and there's even Teyana Taylor, like 30 minutes in, says explicitly that democracy does not work and that violence is the only means to anything.
Yeah.
Which is never corrected later in the film. It never becomes a voting is the way to do it thing.
Yeah, I mean, the movie never really condemns the violence anyway.
Not at all. But there's the question of it being a film made within the studio system in collaboration with Zionists.
Yeah.
Which is, some people are having a reasonably hard time reconciling with that. And
yes, you just have to, like, honestly, I shut that analysis off in my head so I could, and you kind of, I think You have to do that if you want to.
Within the studio system.
But, you know, movies aren't going to save anyone. They're not going to save you. They're movies. They're entertaining. They make you think, but they're not going to save anyone.
But do we think that Paul thinks they can save? Because Battle of Algiers is literally played within this film.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think you can certainly, there's very few films, I would say, that had like actual tangible political, you know.
I mean, but Leonardo DiCaprio anyway, you can never really see him as a moral representation of, like, you first of all, you bring him on the movie so you can convince the studio to let you spend $150 million, partially.
Sure.
Also because he's a great actor.
Right.
And he's always wanted to work with PTA, and he did a great job in the performance.
He's great in it.
But look, in Killers of the Flower Moon too, right? Like, I mean, you don't need Leo to read theory. You don't need him to understand leftism, colonialism, revolution. You don't need any of that. You just need him to perform the role well because it's a film.
Do you think that takes away from the validity? Because, you know, PTA knowing that, though, or whoever the creatives are knowing that Leo may hold certain you know, because he's developing.
Yeah, no, it takes the whole thing, the production, who's in it, who's composing it, what they say, everything matters. It all does.
Yeah.
But the way in order for myself to enjoy the movie and to try to read it is that I'm not trying to separate. I'm trying to just say that, you know, cinema does not. It's not going to save anyone.
Yeah,
it's really not.
Do we think that this is maybe you know, though it may not have the like completely pure revolutionary politics or leftist politics or whatever, do you think that this, as a populist piece of art, which has much accessible mainstream appeal and is doing well, you know, better than people thought at the box office, and is getting amazing consensus
wildly
reviews,
entertaining,
do you think it could be a net positive still in terms of maybe pushing people in a certain direction?
100%. And I'm telling you, watching this movie isn't going to change anyone's view on Gaza.
Oh, of course not.
It's not going to affect anyone's view on Gaza, and it's definitely not going to change what the U.S. government is doing. It's just how it is, and this is the country. You know, that is the United States of America. That's what it is. It's blood on its hands all the time. You know, that's just what comes with being an American, enjoying American art. Something that's made in America that costs $150 million to make is not going to be.
It's impossible for that to be ethically
morally pure. No way. It's I mean, they had to clear out homeless encampments to shoot the movie in L.A.
In for
LA.
one battle.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that's what I heard on Reddit.
I had no idea.
So yeah, but again, it's hard. It's a piece of art, and
at a very large scale.
Yes, that's what cinema is. It's a piece of art that you need equipment and people, labor, all that shit. You need to distribute it. You need incredibly rich, incredibly shitty people to help you do it.
It's just there's no ethical consumption.
But look, let's tap into the part of us. We threw down some popcorn, some iced Coke, and we liked the movie. It was a fun movie. It was moving.
I cannot wait to see it again.
Yeah, it's if I see it again and I like it as much, it's going to be in the top tier, and it's an incredible achievement to adapt Pynchon. Not only to adapt Pynchon, to make a movie on that scale great, because people don't really do that. I mean, Oppenheimer was good, but it wasn't great. This was great. This is probably the best big budget movie I've seen in a long time, or I don't know.
Certainly, even if it's not the best, which I probably think it is, it's, I think, so relevant.
Yes.
And like
it's urgent. It's very
people
urgent. Criticize PTA, maybe rightfully,
for not setting things in the...
Yeah, for not being... Which I think, like, you know, There Will Be Blood being an oil movie during the Iraq War, you know, I think he's done it before. I think he's always made pretty large statements on the United States. But, like, this is an urgent movie. It's like the, you know, Battle of Algiers
It's contemporary.
Yeah.
Which is, that's something that a lot of people have criticized PTA for.
Yeah.
I don't, and not just PTA, but other directors who have the budget to do so. I'm kind of the opinion that if you're at the place where you have the resources to, make period films.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a bad thing for not wanting to.
I think you should make whatever film you want to make.
Yeah, of course.
At
I don't
the
think
time.
but it is to all the naysayers who are like, PT is a coward for not making a film
Mm-hmm.
set in contemporary times.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been disproven to a staggering degree.
And this I'll say this because when I read Vineland, I told Soren, I said this novel is incredibly relevant today. It's almost stunning how close it is to what's happening right now. Because I mean, in 1984, Reagan's re-election obviously was a huge conservative wash over the country.
Ruined everything.
Yeah, but what was going on in the book? The Sean Penn type character Brock Vaughn, he's this like Fed who's bringing around his militants and just completely neglecting civil rights. Obviously, it was kind of a satire. But like, I mean, when I was reading that book, I was like, I mean, holy shit, this is exactly what is happening. Like, you have these types in the Trump administration. They're these like narcissistic corporate ladder types, who just want like a little badge or a little medal or like an Instagram video posted about them. Very superficial, very aesthetics, and they, all these guys, and they go on like Fox News and they say their shit and they have, they always use, like capital letters to say sentences like, this is the great whatever, shit like that. And this is what's happening right now. And so, Soren's gonna read it and he'll see. But I'll say that the Vineland, Vineland is a lot more about just what Pynchon saw as the inherent, like the already inherent weakness of the hippies, and that they already had it in them, that like that proclivity to turn and to become yuppies and corporate people.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not gonna get too much into it, but I can't wait till Soren reads Vineland because it's incredible.
Yeah, I will.
Should we Ali, do you still have something to give his take on the movie?
I had one more thing that I was going to say, but it's slipping.
And we got to go soon to the Bob meeting.
Yeah, we can. Ali,
give your take on One Battle After Another, and then also quickly talk about your experience watching Margaret. Your program, Margaret. I wanted to go so bad because I love Manchester by the Sea. And Yorm said it's going to be a great movie. But I had
we were very sorry to miss it.
Some paper revisions due, and I had to study for an exam.
I didn't get any sleep, and I knew that I'd fall asleep because it's a long movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Off to Ali to talk
about.
Hold
that up, Jamie. They want hold that up, Jamie. They want to make army tanks all electric.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Hello. I mean, I think you two touched on my like general big criticism with it in the political sense. And Mark, I'm actually glad you made that Children of Men connection, because my biggest pet peeve with this movie is that it's just kind of like, I might get a lot of hate for this, so you might disagree with me on this, but it was just like Children of Men, but it takes this modern depiction of descent into neo-fascism in the West as more of a joke and as a funny, ironic thing than Children of Men does. I feel like Children of Men is a lot more
takes it seriously,
a lot more depressing than this movie. And the way I see it is the descent into modern American Western, not even just American, just global neo-fascism funny. Yes, of course it's funny. It's tragically funny seeing people be fucking stupid, falling for the worst things possible. Yeah. Yes, but I feel like it's more than funny. It's
serious.
It's serious. Yes. Is it funny? Yes, but
it's making light of things a little bit, maybe.
And I don't even know that if that's a valid criticism, because that's not really a fault of the movie, but just his approach to the movie rather than how he made the movie.
Yeah, it's just the attitude generally. I think having Eddington fresh in my mind has aided my based on what you're saying, because that movie is very snarky and in your face and little stinkerish, and it's like ha ha ha. I didn't find this movie to be very in your face at all. It's a satire, and it makes light of things, without a doubt. And it presents things in a funny way, and it has a very optimistic and hopeful ending, which, many may disagree with.
Sure, yeah. I do think it was quite funny. I was kind of ashamed by how funny I found it. That really bugged me. I was like, sure. I shouldn't be finding this funny.
Okay.
The St. Nicholas shit, the the Christmas Adventurers Club or whatever. I found it fucking hilarious. You know the fucking the knocking on the door scene when the secret knock is the Jingle Bells rhythm. I think that's one of the hardest I've ever laughed in a movie theater.
The Saint Nicholas Adventures thing is a very much a Pynchon thing. But I will say the humor I think also comes from just how like ridiculous and stupid and empty the aesthetics of like the new fascism is.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just really bad.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was like before, but I mean, some could argue that like at least fascists used like whatever Mussolini used to like
aesthetics and all that.
Yeah, like he used to have like architecture that
Mm-hmm.
Some people thought was beautiful, stuff like that. But this is just complete. I mean, did you see the house they put up Teyana Taylor in? Like the interiors of the house, the Zoid's new house had a really nice interior. Benicio del Toro's house was lived in. It was nice, and the house they set up Teyana Taylor with, total shit. Yeah. It looked like Pottery Barn, which I think was part of it. It was like a terrible house.
Yeah, I guess. Do you think that is it making light of superficial aesthetic things? Like, is the comedy coming from that place, or do you think it's a lot of it, or too much of it, is coming from a place of, this is serious, and though it is funny, as someone who's not on board with it and doesn't get it and finds it absurd, this is serious, and there's terrible implications.
Honestly, I'm not fully sure, but I think there is something elitist about that kind of snarky irony.
Completely, yeah.
And it's just gonna fly over so many people's heads. And
yeah,
I'm not saying that all filmmakers should try to like aim for the lowest common denominator or whatever or anything like that. But I think you do have a certain responsibility to be clear in what your position is.
Mm-hmm.
I think there will be a lot of certain groups, individuals from certain groups, who will watch this and think nothing of the social commentary in this movie.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And obviously, like you said, no one's gonna fucking watch a Hollywood movie and suddenly become an anti-Zionist or anything like that.
No, of course
but
not.
I think you still have some sort of responsibility.
Yeah. But do you think that it'll maybe push people to the left in a positive way? Do you think it will have any sort of positive impact for left politics generally?
No, I don't think so. I think a lot of people are gonna label this as a movie about terrorists.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. We'll see what the right wing media. It would be so. I mean, if Donald Trump's is Paul, I'm not gonna do the impression.
But yeah, a lot
Paul
of people,
Thomas Anderson.
like Star Wars does this. Star Wars did this 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Like this is a thing that has been in Hollywood for
much more explicit than Star Wars, though.
Yeah, but like I just mean like this idea of like rebels fighting this imperial's power. I mean, fucking Battle of Algiers in this movie, in the studio system, is common.
It's kind of bastardized in that way. Like it was a battle that was never to be won. And cut the podcast. That was no, we don't have to cut. I'm sorry.
Dude, that's such a whirl.
Shut up. Shut up.
Oh, Margaret.
All right.
But cut that part.
No, don't cut that. That was
No, that's going on. That's going on the
It's good for
talk. That's on the talk.
Yes. Quickly about Margaret.
Oh right, shit. I'm sorry. Yeah. So, very cool. Good. I actually hadn't seen Manchester by the Sea, which might make you think less of me as a white man.
No, I've not seen it either.
Are you a white man?
I mean, it's a debate. Leave it to the Turks. Yeah, Turks. Yeah, I'm a Turk. Whatever you think I am. Anyway. Yeah, I think it's the first time I've ever seen a coming of age or like a teenager or high school or whatever you call these movies told in the style of an epic film, which is quite cool. It's a 3-hour movie about a teenage girl, and I think Yorm talked about this a bit in our pre-programming speech or whatever you call that, about how we reserve the title and this idea of an epic film and these long 2.5-hour plus 3-hour plus movies for a lot of men. And a lot of like
totally
quote unquote big stories, like the Oppenheimers, the Godfathers, I mean, I'm gonna say Malcolm X. That's a great movie. I'm not saying that Malcolm X shouldn't have an epic film, but you know what I'm trying to say. So it is, I think, very refreshing to see something like this. Regardless of what you think about the movie, I think this is a motion that should be more mainstreamed, but is not.
Yeah.
I was also very surprised by how it is politically. It's like very much about 9/11 and post 9/11 America.
Oh, interesting.
But it's made in 2012, but like feels like the most 2001, 2002 movie you've ever seen. So that's quite cool. Anyway, I enjoyed it. I think Yorm is setting an interesting precedent as a programmer.
Yeah, totally. I'm excited for the rest. And then really quick, if you're in the area and you're listening, we're showing Old by M. Night Shyamalan this Friday. I think it's probably, and I'll say this, my favorite blockbuster until One Battle After Another.
Okay.
Like, the last great blockbuster.
Okay.
And I'm doing the introduction. It's going to be great, and you all should come. Release schedule. We are going to be uploading this podcast on Wednesdays.
Yep, Wednesdays
At 5 p.m.
I just want to say something. Speaking of 9/11, we're not going to not talk about this. I'm a huge fan of Bill Burr, and I'm also a fan of the comedy of Louis C.K. And I like
Where are we going?
I like some of Dave Chappelle's older stuff.
Oh, Riyadh.
And I'm thoroughly disappointed at their choice to perform in Riyadh. For my biggest problem is they're performing for the government. Like America is a pretty bloody country, but you're not performing for the U.S. government. I know, just to say, you're not performing for the U.S. government. But they're performing for the government, and I saw pictures of some of the contracts, and they're explicitly being told not to talk about certain things. And I think that's pretty gross. It's a shame. For someone like Bill Burr, he's been recently going viral for talking about billionaires and whatnot. It's just hypocritical. You are what you do, and I want to give credit to, someone who I'm not a huge fan of, Shane Gillis, for example, for turning it down. Mark Maron for never being offered. I love Mark Maron. He's the GOAT these days. But yeah, that's the current state of stand-up. So I'm really upset.
Drama.
I'm upset about Burr, and Louis. And there's no it sucks. It's stupid. They're rich enough. They don't need to do that. So, yeah.
Closing message. Go see One Battle After Another in theaters. That way they can keep making, directors can keep getting big budgets.
Yep.
And I hope you all enjoy. See you next week.